All right, guys, here it is. Many of you have asked for it. This is a video looking at the 5 mistakes you want to avoid as an MSL at all costs. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is William Solomon. I am a former pharmaceutical industry executive, and I've worked at all different types of companies, big pharma, biotech, midsize. I've even worked in the tech world and the life sciences up in Silicon Valley, so I've really seen it all. I've been a successful medical science liaison and actually was voted for 2 years in a row as the MVP for my therapeutic area, if I should say so myself. Just kidding, but no, really. I was. And so I know what it takes to be successful. I've led MSL teams, medical affairs teams, and much, much more. So look, the MSL role, the medical science liaison role, is one of the most exciting out there. It's very impactful, high demand. People love it. But let's face it, even the best MSLs can make mistakes. So today we're uncovering the top 5 mistakes that MSLs make, and most importantly, how you can avoid them to ensure that you excel in your career. Number 1, overloading HCPs with information. One of the most common mistakes that I've seen MSLs make is trying to share too much information at once. You might be excited about the data or you're eager to demonstrate your expertise, but overwhelming doctors and healthcare providers with complex slides and information and a lot of details, it can actually backfire. Instead, what you want to do is focus on tailoring your points to really what the doctor is looking for based on your research. Start with the most relative data points and be ready to dive deeper if they ask. Pro tip, use the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of information that delivers 80% of the value. I've always found that that's most impactful. Number 2, not following up effectively. Another mistake that a lot of MSLs make is failing to follow up after the meeting. Building relationships with HCPs doesn't end after the first meeting. If you don't follow up with value-added resources or insights, for example, those connections can really fizzle out quickly. So you got to make sure you follow up. Make it a habit to get back to your doctors promptly, and don't just repeat what you already shared. Add something new, maybe a new review article or a new piece that they might find valuable or resource to their practice. A pro tip, use a really good CRM tool to track follow-ups and set reminders to stay consistent. Number 3, being too transactional. Many MSLs fall into the trap of being too transactional. They approach meetings as a checklist. They share data, they answer questions, they move on, right? But doctors value authentic relationships, not just data delivery. Ultimately, you're their conduit, right? Their liaison to the company. Take the time to understand their challenges of their practices or of their practice, their goals for their healthcare system or hospital. Ask open-ended questions and make it a two-way conversation. Pro tip, think about the long-term relationship building aspect and how you can build trust that mutually benefits the doctor and your company. Number 4, ignoring the importance of internal alignment. MSLs often focus on so much external interactions, rather they forget the importance of internal alignment cross-functionally within the organization. But failing to collaborate with your cross-functional teams like marketing, sales, compliance, clinical R&D can lead to mixed messages and, I've seen in many cases, missed opportunities. Make sure to regularly sync up with your internal cross-functional team members, share insights that you've gathered from the field, and align on strategic goals. My pro tip to you, make sure that you schedule in your calendar regular touch points with your cross-functional team members to stay on the same page. Number 5, underestimating the value of soft skills or these core business skills. Finally, one of the biggest mistakes I see is underestimating the importance of having really good emotional intelligence, active listening, adaptability, flexibility. And that's just as important and critical as your scientific knowledge. I once had a tough conversation with a doctor who was skeptical, for example, of my data. Instead of pushing harder, I focused on listening to their concerns about the study, about the data, limitations of the study, and addressing them in an empathetic way. That approach turned the interaction around, and the doctor was really appreciative of my sincerity. Pro tip, practice soft skills by actively listening and making sure you know how to address conflict when it arises. It really sets you apart. Now look, these 5 mistakes, overloading doctors, poor follow-ups, being too transactional, ignoring internal alignment, and neglecting soft skills are all avoidable. You can address them head on, and you can do this by elevating your skill set, right? And you can do this by really making sure that you have a broad skill set. Look, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. And if you're really serious about excelling and becoming a pro at what you do, whether it's a MedInfo specialist, a medical affairs, or a MSL pro, make sure to check out the programs at the ACMA, including the Board Certified Medical Affairs Specialist program. It's the only accredited board certification out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Stay well.